Hello and welcome to this episode with Red Tonto 13. You can find me on Twitch and YouTube as well as Twitter. I'm looking forward to bringing this episode of Football Manager with you. If you've kept up to date, I've gone from TNS after 10 successful years. I spent 2 years with Newcastle, winning the Premier League after 100 years with Newcastle for the first time in their history of being Premier League winners, spending 2 seasons there. Before I took over Newcastle, or as I was going to Newcastle, we ended up winning the Europa League and Community Shield, overcoming Man City twice when they were managed by German Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Klopp only lasted the season and they sacked him, and then they went on to appoint another German, Thomas Tuchel. Then Tuchel was sacked after finishing 4th or 5th, I believe, and suddenly the job came up and I had to jump ship and leave Newcastle for Man City. I won the Premier League, as I said, in my second season with Newcastle. I thought I had a great squad and I was building something great with them. They've just appointed manager Diego Simeone, or I say just appointed, they appointed him at the start of the season. They're currently sat 9th, so for the first time in 4 or 5 years they won't be qualifying for Europe unless they have a great run that takes them into the top 6. And we are here, so what we are in, we're top of the Premier League, 15 points clear of second with 7 games to go. We're in the Europa League quarter-final. We just drew 2-2 with Newcastle. I beat them on the first time I managed against them, and now we just drew 2-2 on the first leg away from home, so it's not too bad for us. I believe we're in the quarter-finals of the FA Cup as well, so there's a lot for us to play for, or semis I think, sorry. A lot for us to play for, and we're working hard. Of course, we would like to, win the Premier League, win the Europa League, and win the FA Cup, which would be a fantastic first season with Man City. It'd be great to win the Premier League, of course, and win back-to-back Premier Leagues, and with 2 different clubs, which would be fantastic. But I've been playing a lot of this game behind the scenes sort of thing, and I was playing it last night, and I wanted to keep playing, but it was quite late, to be honest, and I wanted to record an episode. Yes, I'm also manager of Wales in the meantime as well, because the Wales job did come up. Didn't start off too great with Wales. Well, we started off on a great run, and then we had some bad performances, and I think I had a win ratio of 38%, and it didn't look like we were going to qualify for the World Cup, but we've ended up qualifying, and qualifying only for the second time in history for Wales. In that sense. So here we are. Obviously, I'll try to turn things around with Wales. Still a lot of work to do. Obviously, the quality of players isn't great coming through. But, compared to real life, compared to what game time is, in real life, in the 12-year difference where we're at now in terms of game time, I really think the quality of players coming through the Welsh system will be a lot higher than what we're getting now and what is portrayed in the game. Because the structure in the Welsh system hasn't moved forward in the game as such, and I wish that would become a feature, or if it is a feature, it hasn't really progressed much, because TNS, who I was with, have won the league 13 years in a row. They've been in Europe 13 years in a row. They're the biggest club in Wales, so they're the biggest representation. With the amount of Welsh players coming through the academy system is very low. Now that does come into contrast, because TNS is located in an English area, I believe, or there's some complications with them being an English team. Or Diego Simeone's job is under threat. So the Welsh talent coming through isn't great, but they're the top club in Wales. And realistically, the majority of their squad for a club that's won the league 13 years in a row should be in the Wales first team, but we don't have many players. I think we got about 3 or 4 from TNS, but that's only because I managed them and I've called them through. And they're not world beaters, but they're going to be playing on a world national stage by playing for their national team. So, the quality needs to step up and come through, to be honest.
This isn't easy to say, 'cause we haven't talked in a month. And when you see me with him, you'll probably
where are Newcastle? They're 9th. Okay, so his job is under threat. We are playing this team. I just cannot bring myself to say the name of them because I hate them so much as a club. So here we are going to host this club. Now we host Newcastle in the Europa League. Then we're neutral against Liverpool, sorry. Then we're home against Newcastle again. So quite a tough run, to be honest, for us in the end of the season. Southampton obviously aren't bad and can pull a result out the bag, as can Leicester and West Ham. And then we have United at home before we're away to another United, Sheffield United, for the final game of the season. So we just need to work as hard as possible. We can guarantee the league in a few games' time, but there's lots of work for us to do.
I miss you more. I miss you more.
Okay, well, West Ham had a killer of a win there, 6-1 away win against Leicester, I believe that was. Let's just do a quick save point here. Got quite a good squad, to be honest. Some of the form has dropped off for the last few games, which is a big shame. And it's such a frustration when this game simulates in its actual sense that, you know, we can go on and dominate a team like Liverpool and have such a great result. And they're the second best team, well, we're the second best team in the league. Really outplaying the opposition. And we dominated them. And then you come up against another team like Spurs, who are sat 5th. And you cannot get anywhere near them. And suddenly we change our tactics. And we still can't get anywhere near them. So that is a huge frustration in terms of simulation of the game. But here we are, we're at home. I'd expect to get 3 points. Adiemi there. There is definitely something about the German status in this game, which I know has been quite apparent for years. Not sure if it's to do with licensing, yes, 2-0 up or something like that, but you've got Adiemi there, and you've got Mukoku, and Adiemi's never been capped by Germany, and he's got like 200 league goals, and Mukoku has only got a handful of caps, I think, which is very strange. Unless the quality in Germany is that good, they can afford not to have two amazing players like we have up front. Not to be part of their squad is fantastic in their sense. But I remember at times the German job has appeared, and I have applied for it, even when the league has been a playable league. But I've never landed the Germany job, and Germany is a fantastic job that I would absolutely love to have, because they just bring through so many great players. Okay, there we are, 3-0 up, as I would expect, but I would like to get 5 or 6 here. I believe there's a lot more goals in this game for us, and it'd be good to stay with City for quite a few years, just to not be on the move again, and hopefully deliver more than one Premier League title, and try and build up a really good Premier League record for myself as a manager. I've always been a journeyman as such on Football Manager. I've really enjoyed going out abroad. Italy, I've had success in Italy. Mostly Spain I've been out to and had quite a lot of fun in Spain. Belgium's been fun. I think I've been out to Brazil. That was quite fun. I've managed in Scotland, obviously not abroad if we're in the UK. But I've enjoyed Scottish League. Trying to think of where else I've managed in terms of international leagues. Germany. I've managed Bayern Munich a couple of times. That's been quite fun. Had a great save years ago where I bounced around all the top clubs and I just won the league everywhere. That was quite fun. I don't think I've managed in Portugal much. But on this save, I hope to become like a City legend. Spend a few years here, bring them a lot of success, become a great manager for City. And then maybe move on to Spain, and then Italy, and then back to hopefully City, which would be a great homecoming. I had a great save once where I was at Chelsea, I believe, for 6 years, a bit like when Mourinho was there. It was the first time he had so much success, then he left, then he came back, and I had that, and I came back and I absolutely smashed the league. I think I won it in my first season back. Just like you know, a Mourinho return it was in that sense, and it was thoroughly enjoyable. And I really wish that was a save recorded, but that was well before I was streaming or recording episodes with so many great saves. But yeah, I would like to be like a journeyman on this save as such. I think I've done the longevity at TNS. I would like to get the spend 20 years at one club achievement, and I think I've got the TNS save backed up. Simply if I want to jump back in and then get that achievement just for an achievement in itself on Xbox Game Pass. Who else can we rest here? Oh, he's already on. He's knackered, so let's bring him off for Adam Steele. Yeah, I would like to maybe spend 20 years, so it's interesting to see where this save is going to go, where I'll end up, or whether I stay at 6 for 20 years, but that is, you know, dependent unless I get the sack or not. But I think I've never got to a career where I've got like old in the game, where I'm like in my 70s, which I would like to manage to. Right, if in my 70s, you know, I hope to still be managing and have good health, and I would love to return to TNS just to finish the save off and, you know, have that fantastic return and that homecoming as such, and to return to TNS and hopefully bring them success after being away for what, like 35 years or whatever it would be at that point, depending on my age. You know, hopefully bringing the same amount of success as I had first time round, which would be a fantastic way to retire. I do support the English national team in real life, just because they brought through so much quality over the years, and I always grew up watching England with my granddad, and you know, Wales didn't have a great squad when my era was growing up as such. So it was very difficult to fall in love with the Welsh national team because they were so bang average. But I've got a huge soft spot for the Welsh national side because I've come through the Welsh system as a coach, obviously being Welsh as well. But I would like to get the England job because I've always taken the England job, and it'd be great to try and have some international success as well. Okay, that was a great 6-0 win for us and 3 points in the bag, and hopefully push them further towards relegation. We qualified for the Champions League. The board have given us £160 million transfer budget. Let's hope for a bit more if we win the league. Again, he's just been superb. There is one striker Liverpool have, and if we get him, because his quality and his Premier League experience, it would take quality off Liverpool, but he would certainly be a fantastic player for us. This is what I mean, look, he had 65 league goals in 98 games, even when he was in Germany. And now he scored 119 Premier League goals in 220 league games, 451 league games, 230 goals. I mean, look, he's had 46 games this year, 41 goals, 15 assists, 8 man of the matches. He's got an average rating of 7.7. And he's never been capped by Germany. Very, very odd, that one. See, captain, none. Vice captain, none. It's something very strange when it comes to this in that sense. Manager doesn't even appear. Let's go into add or remove leagues. I've got Spain, Holland. I think I've managed Ajax once, or yeah, I managed Ajax once, and you know, it wasn't a huge club, or they're not a huge club in terms of what you perceive to be managing. My head has gone a minute. Let's get the Portuguese league in there, and let's add in. I've been out to China. China was quite fun. Really enjoyed China. Germany. Bundesliga is added, look. Yeah, it's already there. I've not even looked at that. I haven't even got League One enabled. Yeah, I've also managed PSG. That was really fun, and Monaco. I actually I went to PSG in a save, and we were just incredible. Dominated everything. Unbelievable amounts of money. Could have just stayed there and had the easiest ride the manager has ever had. But I left to go to Monaco, and I brought success to Monaco straight away. And PSG did not like that. They did not like it. What other what other leagues would I be attracted, or countries would I be attracted to? See, Turkey just does not attract itself. See, I hear good things about Serbia. Brazil's been quite fun. Would I manage him through? I doubt it. Okay, so we're still 15 points clear, 6 games left, 85. So we literally need to beat Newcastle after we play Newcastle and Liverpool to guarantee the league, unless depends on the performances of Arsenal as well. At Brighton, very admirable of you. Obviously Brighton are a good club, very likeable as a neutral fan. As a football fan in general, I just love collecting football shirts. I might actually get the Brighton one this year. So my plan is to get the Newport County one as a Newport County fan, the Chelsea one as a Chelsea fan, and Nottingham Forest one because I've got a big soft spot for Nottingham Forest, and that was because of Brian Clough. And maybe get the Brighton one this year. I have bought Margate Football Club's first team top. That's pretty cool. From what, 2 seasons ago. I think they still wear it as a first team top, so it's a very nice pink. Or the away one, pink, lush top. I do actually have a Man City training top on the way, which I was browsing through a website the other night and I was like, whoa, that is lush, and I need to order it because of how lush it is. So that is on its way and it should be arriving tomorrow, but I ordered it and then was like, whoa, I can wear this with my Man City Foot Manager save. So I can't wait to actually be wearing that. Before I recognise this song, it's Eminem's song, so this is a remix of it. But great original song as well, great remix. Yeah, FA Cup semi-finals, quarter-finals. Let's hope we can get into the semi-finals and let's hope we can get into the final. I just hope we can beat Liverpool. They are a very tough team. Davidson's form should warrant a place back in the national team. Now he is a defender. His first touch is average, his heading is average. Shocking heading for a defender. His marking isn't great, his passing isn't great. So what he can offer as a defender isn't great for me, and he hasn't got great technique either. So, you know, if he's trying to play out from the back, he's going to be costing us. You know, I just don't have much faith in him. Let's just do a quick save point here. Okay, come on, boys. Come on. I want to overturn my former club, Newcastle, as much as I love them. And I have such a soft point for Newcastle in the save. Let's get the 3 points. 3 points. Let's get the win and get to the semis. I do like Newcastle, but I wouldn't say I've got a soft spot for them in real life as such. It'd be nice to see how they progress this year and certainly grow over the next few years in the competition it'll bring to the Premier League. But I would say I've certainly developed the soft point for TNS by managing them for 10 years and having the success that I've had. So I will be keeping up with TNS a lot more this season just to see how they do in real life. I did look at buying a TNS first team shirt that wear with the save and just have as part of my collection, but their website is truly shocking. Truly shocking, and they didn't have my size either.
Got me feeling bad for feeling attached when you were the one who called. I'm always your afterthought when you're in that state.
I was also looking on classic football shirts, and I was looking at a Newcastle shirt when I was with Newcastle, because I wanted one to wear with the save. They had a nice training top, or a basic training top. I think I was just going to buy that just to wear for the save, really. And then they had, I believe, last season's top on there, and I was so close to buying it. And I thought, really, do I need a Newcastle shirt from last season just for the save? If I had stayed with Newcastle for longer, or I had plans to stay with them, then maybe I would have, especially at the price it was being offered at. See, now Lafont is their goalkeeper, and he is such a legendary goalkeeper. Not being capped much by France, but he's coming up to 700 league games in his career, so I would definitely call him a Newcastle legend. He hasn't played 700 league games for Newcastle. I believe he's coming up to 300 just for Newcastle. He's Premier League winner, Europa League winner. How many other goalkeepers have achieved that with Newcastle and a Community Shield? Qualified for Europe, you know, multiple times. You know, for me, he is a Newcastle legend. I did try to buy him because he is such a good player, such a good goalkeeper, and he would have been such a great asset to the squad, but Simeone would not sell him no matter what. And I did try to buy him, but then I bought Diogo Costa in, and I needed a great goalkeeper. And I had to pay over the odds for him because the original keeper that I had said he no longer wanted to be at City. Arsenal came in for him, there was a good bid. I accepted him, added to my transfer budget, and I've ended up paying more for Costa. And I've lined up Costa's long-term replacement. He's actually back out on loan at the club we signed him from, so he can stay as number one and keep playing and hopefully grow in that time and come back and come and take over at a time when he'd be in a very strong place, a bit like Chelsea did with Courtois and Petr Cech. This is very frustrating because we've got 18 shots, 6 on target. We've got fantastic players on the field, and all we need them to literally do is score. You cannot change the tactics if they're getting shots like that, because they're getting in the box and they literally need to finish. That's what they need to do. But I would have liked Lafont, and I believe he could have had a good few years here at City. See, both of these have been bang average, which is frustrating. Now I'm going to make 2 changes, and I need you to score because I will be highly, highly frustrated if we go out on penalties. Because we have had 8 shots on target, we haven't allowed them to have 1. And yet we got such amazing players on the field, we cannot even put one in the back of the net. Which is highly, highly frustrating. 23 shots, 9 on target, we haven't scored. Newcastle are laughing. But this is the perfect performance. 23 shots, 24 now. 9 on target. Bit lag here. I don't know why there's lag kicking in because there's nothing else really going on. Just pause the music a minute. Right, we're into extra time now. Okay, the lag has dropped off a minute. Into extra time. 1 shot in 90 minutes on target for Newcastle. All we need to do is finish. Just need to finish. See, tick, 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 tick. I hate these kind of games because there's not many highlights. There's not much going on. You know it's going to go to penalties. You know your players aren't scoring no matter what changes or who you bring on. I hate these games. See, that was just literally 15 minutes of nothing. I don't even think there was a single highlight or 1 highlight and then it went. Tick, 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 tick. Into penalties, it looks like. If we don't score, I'll be very frustrated. This is a great Simeone, you know, sit back. Oh! Don't. Oh, of course. Don't score. Oh, he scored, obviously. 112 minutes, quarterfinals. They've had 2 shots on target in 112 minutes. We've had 25 shots, 9 on target. 3 legendary strikers in my books on the pitch. We've dominated them. We've been all over them. We stopped them from shooting. We then give away a penalty, and that is the only way they've got a goal. Suddenly, they're now 1-0 up. We're 1-0 down. 3-2 on aggregate. We need to score. Actually do something that you get paid for. Lafont, you're such a good goalkeeper. Oh, that's it. Time waste. Typical Simeone. Come on, get the ball. Ball forward. Oh, that's it. Lose it on the left-hand side. Get the ball. No. Suddenly, Newcastle or Barcelona. Get the ball. Oh, wow. Absolute robbery. It's pathetic. I hate games like that so much. Pathetic. Literally loads through. Gives 1 little thing. Bang, penalty. They're through by absolute tremendous luck. See, that's the kind of... Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. If that game had loaded in a different way, we would have been 3-0 up, I reckon. See, I reckon if you load that 10 times, right, make none of the changes, keep it the same, 8 out of 10 times you're winning that. 8 out of 10 times, I'm telling you. That is pathetic. Some of the reasons I absolutely, truly hate this game sometimes, because that is so unfair. There is nothing more you could have done. And to give away a penalty for their only real shot or chance at the 112th minute, and then it just ticks, tick, gets game over the line, bang, we're out and they're through. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. They've done nothing. It was a great Simeone tactic. Sit back, defend, frustrate the opposition, try and get something like that, win the game, go through. But we just needed a player to score. Just needed him to score. Extremely frustrating. Extremely frustrating. Highly frustrated. See, if we don't beat Liverpool, this game is so fixed. Well, what did you win in your first season? Just the Premier League. Like it's great to win the Premier League and it's great to win back to backs, but we got knocked out of the Carabao Cup early. We just could not touch the opposition, even though we've got world class £1 million players on an informed squad with fantastic tactics, beating great opposition, and yet we lose. And then we just couldn't even get close to who we were playing, and they were rubbish. Oh, what did you do? Oh, we got knocked out in the Europa League quarterfinals. Oh, did you get? Oh, we got FA Cup semis. Oh, yeah, great season. Pathetic. I bet you if I had left and any other manager took over and plays this exact tactic, and I play the tactic which they're using, I bet you I lose. Because that makes no sense. They can absolutely dominate. Like, for example, you could have Conte dominating with the best team in the league, right? Same with Klopp. And then you recreate the exact same tactic and you play it with the exact same squad if they get sacked or take over. You do not have the success that they have. And even then, if you used it, you just cannot beat teams when they were dominating teams. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. See, in real life, Klopp and Guardiola have had two amazing tactics which they've played, right? Amazing tactics, beating records and being dominant and smashing teams and getting players performing. You recreate both of their tactics. I've used them both and none of them bring me success. You inherit everything exactly the same, even when you start out with the same squad. And then you progress in the game and you get a better squad because of the investment. And yet you get no success. Highly frustrating. Get the ball, get the ball, get the ball. Oh, finally. Get the ball. That's all we need to do. We got 6 shots, 2 on target. We just need to put something in the back of the net. What are we playing these players like 300 grand a week for if they're not scoring? They're getting chances of getting the ball into the box. Everyone else is performing. You're the £1 million strikers that we've got on the pitch. You're being paid. Fuck off. What a load of bollocks. Here we go. Out of the FA Cup. We'll have a shit run now. Oh, 2-0. Shock. Absolute shock. See, we start off perfectly. We're all over them. We're getting shots. We're not allowing them to have shots. We're getting shots on target. I've got coaches who I pay lots of money for per week who have tactical coaching of 20, who got better tactical coaching than the opposition coaches, right? And I've got 4 or 5 of them. But yet we're losing tactically, which makes no sense. What is the point of having an attribute of tactical coaching of 20 and employing coaches who cannot get it right? I just don't get it. And how can you have tactical coaching of 20 by 4 or 5 players, right? 4 or 5 coaches, come up against a team who don't have coaches, even a manager with tactical coaching of 20, but you lose. And we're getting dominated by Liverpool. They are 3-0 up. Oh my gosh, out of the FA Cup we go. This is what I mean. We beat them. We were 4-1 up against them in the last game. 4-1 up against them. We've been top of the table. We've demolished teams who they have lost to. And yet, we're 3-0 down in an FA Cup semi-final. We cannot even get close to them. And they're using the same tactics. And we're using the same tactics. Explain that one to me. This is an absolute shambolic joke of how bad this game is. It's so inconsistent. I love the game, but it is so inconsistent. It's unreal. Oh, it's great having a great win record, right, of like managing 50 games. But then if you're stacking up like 10 losses every 50 games, it's very, very average. You got 100 losses every 500 games. That is so bang average in my book. How can you have losses? How can you dominate teams and then have losses like 3-0 to Liverpool here, 4-1 or 5-1 to Spurs? and get knocked out of the Carabao Cup, no matter how much you change your tactic, no matter what tweaks you make in the game, no matter what players you bring on. Oh my days, Vinicius Junior is so average. Oh, this player, right, who has scored against us has been unbelievable. I bet you I put him into our tactics with better players, right, and he will not do as well as he was doing for Liverpool. That doesn't make sense to me. You cannot sign any decent player at top level either, no matter how much money you offer for them. Oh, look, we change our tactics. Suddenly, in the second half, we've stopped them from scoring, but have we had one real chance? Oh, right, just after the extra time. That is the only chance in 45 minutes that we've had, and he scored. What a wasted season. Just the Premier League title for us, please. Thank you very much. Pathetic. Livid. Absolutely livid. Yeah, of course you are, you wanker. Fourth, and out playing the top team. Oh, that makes no sense at all. Right, where's this amazing striker? I had 27, right? He's worth up to 887 million. And he looks average. C, signing whatever the price. Now, if I was signing a player, whatever the price, he should be the greenest A plus going. But this is C plus. How can you tell me he is C plus for signing whatever the price? His stats aren't even that good, realistically, though. Like, you know, he's a defender centre. And what does he offer? Heading of only 14. Marking of only 15. Passing of 12. If I got a player in the box like that who's my last defender, I'd want at least 18 everything. At least 18 everything for that kind of money. That is sickening. This is why the game becomes unplayable, because you can't even sign players because the prices are a joke. See, he's 20 and he's worth up to 109 million. For what? He can't even finish. He can't finish. He can't really head. His shooting's rubbish. His marking's average. I don't understand the point in scouts in this game either. Because you sign the best scouts in the game. They recommend a player on A. You get him in and he's a C. Or they recommend a player who's an A. And then he is not an A. He is not an A. See, up to 400 million. What? Now, come on now. Even in real life, right? Even in real life, Arsenal has just signed Gabriel Jesus from City. A very decent player, right? Very decent. And there is no chance they have paid 100 million. $300 million. I'll give you 100 because even 100 million for a player is absurd. Typing Juventus there and it's not Juventus in the game. See, I want him. Right, I want him and I'm willing to pay the money. Right, and I will give you 105 million and I will swap you, right? And I will swap you Vinicius Junior, who will rip your league apart. So you get 100 million and a very decent player who's very experienced, has great qualities, who will rip your league apart. Right, Newcastle just drew 1-1 with Arsenal. We're above Arsenal. We literally just need to win. It's so frustrating. You have such a great run. You're on fantastic form. And then suddenly you get into a bad run. Got Hakimi coming in. See, if we get Nunez, he will add a great deal of difference to us. See, the only way you can get around it is signing players in Spain who are young on a decent... shut up. On a decent release clause, right? Decent release clause. Shut up. If they want to sack me, sack me. On a decent release clause where you can actually develop them, which is very rejected. See, even 105 million, right? Your director of football, you say, right, I want so and so. Every time it comes back, it's failed. No matter, I've never really had a director of football, no matter what negotiation skills they have, they never, ever, ever, ever get anyone I want. Never, ever. But the only way you can get around it is by leaving a club and coming back to it, or signing players from Brazil who are supposedly world-class players but are 27 years of age with only 2 years experience behind them. You bring them in and then they're bang average in England. So I've just offered 127 million. I've also offered Vinicius Jr. and they unacceptable. You're getting 127 million for a player. Wow, how much of a joke is this game? You cannot get anyone. I mean, like, they should be going, yeah, you can have him, 100 million, done, gone. Oh, we'll take Vinicius Jr. He'll rip our league apart. Oh, we can continue to dominate a league. Oh, he definitely wants to leave to go and play in England, to play Premier League for a team in Europe who are playing Champions League football next year. This is why I enjoy international management on this game, or going to a smaller league, because you can actually sign players with a budget. That's why I enjoy TNS so much, because you can actually sign players with a budget. Now, there's lots of players you can't get because they think that, you know, they're too big for the league, or they don't want to come to you because you're not a big enough club, even though you dominate everything, and they'd rather sit in reserves for the other team, for the team that they're coming from, rather than come out and play a year and play in the league. Right, we've got Tixie, right, who's got negotiation skills of 17, and he will not be able to get him. So what's the point of a director of football? So now that's the only reason I like managing in the lower leagues, because if you get a decent budget you can work with, you can actually sign players. But when you're at the top, right, you cannot get any player. Even in real life, right, the amount of signings City have made from Arsenal of decent players over the years, from clubs like Arsenal, and they've been accepted and they've been able to get them. And even United signing from Arsenal. But yet, in Football Manager, you cannot get a single player. Cannot get a single player. It's a joke. I mean, like, I had to pay 92 million, I think, for this goalkeeper. He's 32. Now, goalkeepers can play for a lot longer, and he could be a good investment, because look at Van der Sar and what he offered for United over the years, and, you know, what a great player he was. One of my all-time favourite goalkeepers, and I'm a Chelsea fan. But I had such a big place for Van der Sar, and I respect him so much. But, like, come on now. This is why it's difficult to maintain. On the old Football Managers, right, you could literally offer 100 million and your arm would be bitten off. Now, I know, right, I know things have changed in the football world, right? and especially economically, where you're demanding more for what you're selling, right? Even in real life. But on your foot managers, it was so much easier to sign players. Now, ever since, I think, what, 2020? I stopped playing 2020 because it became so unfun. And it was so difficult to sign players. And same on 2021. Now, I used to buy this game religiously every year, the day it came out. Same as I did with FIFA, right? I would make sure I have it, and especially in physical format. I just love seeing all the foot managers and FIFAs there. I would never stop buying them, right? But the only reason I started playing Foot Manager, I played it on Steam, and I hated getting achievements on Steam because they mean nothing to me, especially compared to my Xbox profile. You know, achievements mean quite a lot for me on my Xbox profile. I've had it since I was, 12, since 2008, so 14 years ago, so 11. And I've put so much time into my achievements because they actually mean so much to me. And Steam didn't really mean anything to me. I love getting achievements, but not on Steam. Now, this game getting added to Game Pass and on Xbox was one of the best decisions SI have ever made. Now, I stopped buying the physical format because it is available via Game Pass, and I pay for Game Pass. It's amazing that it is on Game Pass. And, you know, one of my most favourite ever games to be on Game Pass, and what I pay the subscription for is exactly why I love the Xbox even more. I've got a PlayStation and I just cannot even bring myself to play one game on it because it's not the Xbox, because I'm that committed to the Xbox. But honestly, right? Honestly, this game has become so frustrating over the last few years. So hard to sign players, you know, tactics not working properly. You know, it's become such a FIFA in its sense of where it's become so frustrating. I think FM17 is by far my most favourite foot manager. And that's because I had the most success on it. I had such great saves. It was actually so fun to play. You could sign great players. You could move to great clubs. And it was actually so fun. I'm glad we're winning 3-0 here because this should guarantee us the Premier League win. And this is what I mean. We're playing with the exact same tactics against theirs. We're all over them. We're actually scoring like we should and in the quality that these players possess. We're dominating the game, and realistically, it's the way it's loaded. Now, we should have beat them in the Europa League final. And I really hope we're in Champions League next year, which is great for us and more money and exposure, etc. And players like Kimmich might actually want to stay now. Or players are not attracted to Man City, even though they're a great Premier League club and play lots of money and will challenge for a title and play European football of some sort, but they don't want to come and play for us, which makes no sense, right? I would have preferred to have won the Europa League and been in the European Super Cup final whilst playing Champions League next year, because I really feel that I would have had a huge impact on my first year here at the club. But semi-finals of the FA Cup, quarter-finals Europa League, qualification for the Champions League, Premier League winners. You know, we're in a Community Cup Shield final next year. You know, I think I've done a pretty incredible job here at City. Especially only in my third year of Premier League football, on the back of coming from Newcastle, and considering, you know, City were 4th or 5th, maybe 6th even last year, with a manager like Tuchel, who is a ridiculously amazing manager, right? You know, I have done an incredible job to turn this underperforming squad around for the successes that they have had this year. All round, collectively, is a huge season which we have had. And now when you look at what I did at Newcastle, you know, 2nd place in season 1, qualification for the Champions League, consistently on the back of what the previous manager Jose Mourinho had done, right? To winning the Premier League, to overcoming all the hard work that we put in, right? He's having a good game, actually. For Newcastle to be 11th? Come on now, it just shows what I've done. Let's get Dave Davis on. Dave Davis. Academy product, so I'm trying to develop him, and Hung Yang is English. But he is also an Academy product. So I'm hoping to utilise these players a lot more over the next coming years as part of my long-term plan with the club and part of the save, provided it doesn't get any more frustrating. This result and game has actually made me happier. Come on, make it 5. As much as I love Newcastle, my former club, you know, it makes me happy that I've got a win. You know, we could be playing Brighton. I'm just really happy that we're winning. Okay, there we are. Crowned Premier League champions. Thoroughly deserved. My 2nd Premier League title. My 12th title as a manager. And I've only been manager for 13 years, so I'm delighted to have won 12 out of 13 titles. And to come to the Premier League and to win my 2nd Premier League trophy. And with a different club, I think shows a testament of what a manager I am and what I can offer. You know, suddenly, you know, I go to Newcastle, I win their 1st Premier League title in over 100 years. I take over City. They finished, what, 4th, 5th, 6th? I can't remember. But even still then, I've taken them to win a Premier League. Now, to come from a Premier League winning club to another club and win the Premier League with them, you know, shows my quality as a manager. First ever Welsh manager to win a Premier League. First ever Welsh manager to win back-to-back Premier Leagues. Now, I wish that little bit more detail was in the game. I think first ever manager to win Premier League titles back-to-back with 2 different clubs. 17 points clear of Arsenal with 5 games in hand. They're happy. Sterling's praised me. What a City legend he is. Okay, we're back to winning ways. It'd be great if you could actually filter that and see the actual managers who've won that. I think that would be a great feature. Now, I do have a Google Doc because I made some notes on it. But even still, I will go to it because I think that is a very good idea, actually. I've just got a list of ideas. Keep getting great ideas whilst playing, and I keep forgetting to note them down. Now, as a long-term committed Football Manager fan, you know, these are the kind of things which I think should already be in the game, but past winners section. Would be able to filter into managers who have won runner-up and 3rd place by clubs. Now that would take a bit more research and a bit more detail to add into the game, and would add a lot more depth. But what Football Manager needs to remember is it's a game based on data. It's a game based on having this much information available. This is why I cannot play FIFA, because my head is so data driven, and I like having this information. I like being able to go into players' history and see all of this, but I love to see it in detail. I love to get reports, which offers so much. You know, FIFA's got some elements of that, but not in the detail that this game offers. And this is why this game has such a better characteristic compared to FIFA, and it needs to, you know, keep adding on those elements to really stay ahead in the game. I love how it says, oh, these players should be dropped. Yeah, I agree. If I had the national pool available to go, right, I've got decent players available where I've got 5 or 6 decent keepers, I can afford to actually drop our first choice international goalkeeper because of who we have available. Yang gets a wage hike. Shock. Sorry, didn't actually come. Oh no, he did. I knew he did. Way it come across there was Sunderland come first. Yeah, he's come through our youth system. Now milestones. That is so frustrating. So frustrating. See, all these. He played 12 games in the Premier League. He played 12 Premier League games. I thought the rule in real life was that you only had to play 3. You know, correct me if I'm wrong, but he deserves a Premier League title to his name there. He's been part of it all year long.
I'm the one who asked for the distance, but are you alone? Are you alright? And maybe you will judge me if I said that I hope you still love me. Feels like you don't. I'm scared that I might. I'll be happy for you if you say you're happier with someone else. I'll be honest with you. Just the thought of it hurts like hell.
This time you've been thinking I moved on, but you should know I waited for you. Even if I tried, I could never let you go. You should know.
Well, the whole point of trying to create this episode and capture this was I was hoping to win the FA Cup, win the Europa League, win the Premier League. Cheers for the support. Dan, manager of Bayern, 61 years of age. He's only been there 2 years, but you know he's actually managed Bayern previously. After he left Madrid, came to Chelsea, went back to Madrid again for the third time, went to Juventus, only spent 2 years there. Now is at Bayern. I'm very surprised not to see PSG, which he usually tends to go to, or the French national team in there. But you know, 15 cups, 7 trophies. It's not much considering who he has managed and where he's been. See, he claimed I brought him into Newcastle before I left, and he was part of my plans. But he's not part of Simeone's plans. He's only played 6 league games, 10 times in total, 6 off the bench. Very, very average this year, but what do you expect? He's not been consistent. He's not happy. He's, you know, not been part of the plans which originally he was going to be part of. Should be dropped. He's one of our best players. He's got 143 caps. He's got true amounts of experience. True, I was going to say tremendous amounts of experience there.
Kinda weak, and I know that he cannot approach me, 'cause I'm looking like glass and he's looking like trash. Can't get with a deadbeat ass. So no, I don't want your number, no. I don't wanna give you mine, and no, I don't wanna meet you nowhere, no. I don't want none of your time, and no, I don't want no scrub. A scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me. Hanging at the passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying to holler at me. I don't want no scrub. A scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me. Hanging at the passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying to holler at me. No, 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 trying to holler at me. No, 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 no. If you don't have a car and you're walking, oh yes, son, I'm talking to you. If you're leaving home with your mama, I'm talking to you. If you have a shorty, but you don't show your son, I'm talking to you. Wanna get
Not
with
happy
me?
with 5 losses in 51 games, so I'm not happy. See, a lot of other managers would take that and be very happy. Especially considering I've got 5 losses with Wales in 19 games. So I'm not happy. See, we should play Southampton now and absolutely dominate Southampton because we are the much better team. And when you get results like we've just had against Newcastle, which is how the results should be, then this is the kind of results you should get consistently against other clubs like Southampton.
Dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one, only one. I was an ordinary boy until I broke the
Picking on my history is because I just love seeing numbers. I like to try and look at my record.
until I walk awake, scream my mind, I shout the
What's the most amount of games I've ever managed? I don't know, I think I've got into the 100 mark. Or where, I'm not sure whether I've got into the 900 mark. Or I've hit 1,000. I think I've done 1,000 games. I can't remember though. I think I have.
fly away. It's the first time of today. Today. To dream, believe. You are the strength, you're all I need. Oh, gonna give it a shot. Only one of me to shield you all from the enemy. You're a superhero. You're a superhero.
I just want to add him to the list. He's average. He's in good form, but he looks average. We'll call him up for now, just so I can have a further look at him. He's average. He's not getting anywhere near my side. See, I don't expect us to perform in the World Cup, but you know, it is Wales, and it would be nice if we had a good run and actually got out of the group stage into the knockout round. That would be nice. Okay, first against 14th, City against Southampton. See, look, I've got players like Eleanor there, who I think is worth 130 million, I think the game is saying. 103 to 114. See, I would sell him. If I could get it up to 120, I would legit sell him. And that is me making a compromise. Now, even if I didn't get 120 million, would I sell him for 105? Probably. And that's because I'm a realistic manager and I would make that sale. And yet I can't get a player for 140 million. It is lagging again. Let me just pause this music. Don't know why it was lagging there. See, well, I can't. 140 million for a player is excessive, but that won't even get accepted. Okay, we're 1-0 up here, which is what I expect. Hmm. Wow. Absolute dire that is for a 90 million pound goalkeeper, right? It's a great ball. The defensive line was high, but what was he doing? He's literally chested it, right? And then he has backed off the player. Whereas if you're there, right, and the player has come up to you and you're one on one in that situation as that goalkeeper, you should not be backing off. You should be going up to him. See, we're 1-1 with Southampton and they're causing us problems. But as that is shocking goalkeeping, mind. Why was he backing off? You're already in a position where you could make yourself big as a goalkeeper, right? But backing off, he knows as a 90 million pound experienced goalkeeper, right? That does not you do not back off in a situation like that. Maybe he's been coached that way, but in my books, I'm coaching him to stay up in that position and not back off. Okay, we've responded. Allow it, allow it, allow it, allow it. Good, so it should be. So it should be. This game makes me tired mentally. Games are supposed... Oh, for fuck's sake. Games are supposed to be enjoyed, but yeah, we're 2-2 with average Southampton who are 13th. Average Southampton who are 13th are causing the Premier League champions problems and are 2-2 with them. If they were that good, why have they not won the league? Why have they not won the league? I just cannot fathom it. See, now when we were playing Liverpool, I loaded up RDF's unbeatable tactic. Now, technically, we did win that second half 1-0. But if I load it, is it unbeatable? I don't think so. Because quite a lot of time it costs me. Come on. Oh, see? Great defending, but as a striker, you with all the experience he has, he knows to get shots off there. He knows to get shots off quicker. Oh, wow. Look, 19 shots, 8 on target again. And we got these players who are so good, and yet, what are they doing? Not fucking scoring. I hate swearing in a stream or episode, I really do, but honestly, when I say games are supposed to be enjoyable to play, not Football Manager. Football Manager is a stress. It is proper hard work, Football Manager. And sometimes I enjoy it because I like being engrossed in a game and like really getting into it, but when it's so inconsistent, it is so frustrating. So frustrating when it's inconsistent. Oh, come on now. Got 10 shots on target, man. We should be like 5-3 up, or 5-2, sorry. I don't understand why there's lag. There's nothing going on. I'm only playing Football Manager and recording it, man. Don't understand why there's lag. For 32 gig RAM. 4-2 up here. 4-2 up. Exactly how it should be, but shouldn't be letting teams like Southampton come back into the game at 2-2. I'm glad that we pulled away and we're getting the win, we're getting the 3 points and we're scoring, but 12 shots on target in 25 shots and we've only scored 4. Come on. Finish. If he didn't finish that, I would have absolutely gone mental, because that is a basic finish for a player of his quality. But 5-2, this is the kind of result we should be getting. Some managers would not be bothered at this point. They'd be like, right, we've won the Premier League. We've done it ahead of schedule. We've been paid well. All we can do is literally finish up the year and try and improve next year to win it again, and if not better. But for me, I'm really, really, really happy now. But for me, I'd like to try and finish with as many wins as possible. That's me. I like to be a winner. And I want to get as many wins in the season as I can. And if we can get as many goals and as many goal differences and as many points as we can, then I'm very, very happy. We're 19 points clear of Arsenal. He's injured. He's out for 1 to 3 days. Thank goodness for that. He is superb. But as a pair of strikers, they're so inconsistent. 1 week he'll have an amazing game. The next week Mukuku will have an amazing game. And he won't. And then vice versa. Man City versus Leicester now. Leicester are 18th. I like Leicester. I'll be very gutted if they do get relegated. Let's have a quick look. Okay, there's still chance for 19th and 18th to pull out there. Just need more strength from Aston Villa. Brentford are definitely going down, but there's still opportunities for 19th and 18th to stay up. We just need Villa to do a good job, and I'm sure Villa will be looking for us to help them out and give them breathing space. I bet the manager of Villa is actually looking for us to help him out. Okay, Newcastle have won in the semis, as have Villarreal. So that is the first leg. See, I would like to go out to America, but I keep listening to other streamers who are out there at the moment in the game. I think I've done America once and I didn't really enjoy it because it's become so complicated of the draft system and all that jazz. And I would literally love to go to America and take some of the amazing jobs that are out there. And live in some of the most amazing places. Simeone's job is insecure. The only reason I believe they're not sacking him is because of what he's doing in the Europa League. when I was there, their finances were rich. Now they're okay. See, I've had the Atletico Bilbao job before. Really, really enjoyed it. And we actually ended up winning the Spanish league, which was really fun. But that is such a difficult club to manage because of the Basque rule. Oh wow, look at that table. Holland, Italy, Portugal, and Wales. See, the European International League, sorry, is quite a tough league. But, you know, being in a table which comprises of, say, Serbia, Switzerland, and Norway, for example, compared to who we have, would take some pressure off, or would have. But, you know, we start in fourth place, obviously on spelling, but is that where we're going to end up? I truly hope not. Oh, that's great. That's great to know. It is well worth noting that Italy have not lost to Wales in the last 4 meetings. Well, I would like to be the manager who would stop that, which would be great. Good 3-1 win there for Newcastle. That doesn't help Villa out at all. There's one win from Leicester and they leapfrog them. It is shaky times for Villa. Very shaky. The only way Villa can be helped out or have a bit of breathing space is if we beat Leicester, which we absolutely should. Wow, our financial status is shocking. When I first took over, right, there was £180 million there. Now we're actually losing money every month. We've only got £5 million balance, right? But yet we've got £161 million available. I have done my absolute best as manager, right? Gutted. Best as manager to actually make money for this club, which I have. By winning the Premier League, I brought in money. I've attracted fans because we're playing better football. But look at that. I've made a profit in all the business I've done this year. Made a profit. So I've done everything I can as manager. But yet when you go to job interviews, they'll say, can you explain your financial management and why it's not been amazing? Well, hold on. It's not my fault that the club is losing money every month. If you actually look at my wage budget, it's positive. If you look at my transfer budget, I was actually left with money before being given more money. If you look at all the players that I've sold to the players that I brought in, I've actually made the club a profit. So which frustrates me as a question. And it frustrates me if the fact that it gets taken into consideration. Because I've done my job. So explain that one to me. So I think I am going to make this the last game of the episode because I don't think we need to see exactly how the season plays itself out because we have won the Premier League. Oh, he's hit the post. But when I get the next episode going, which I think I might feature the World Cup on just to see how well we do, then I will address how we finish the end of the season. Now, we've hit the post. We're 1-0 up. We're 5 minutes in. I'm expecting us to annihilate 18th place. Now, as much as I don't want to see you go down, Leicester, I like you very much as a club. As a Chelsea fan, I literally have nothing against you. I actually do like you as a club in real life. I'm not one of these fans who hates other clubs, who is like, my club is everything. No other club matters. I'm a very true Chelsea fan, true Newport fan, but I have so much respect for other clubs. I respect City because I think what they've done in terms of their infrastructure and investment and operational running as a club over the years is fantastic, especially when you compare them to the likes of United and how they've operationally been run over the last few years and how backwards they have gone. I like Leicester because winning the Premier League and what they've done and having Brendan Rodgers as a manager, I think is a great club with a great manager. And it was so unfortunate that they lost their owner, but I hope their son continues to own the club for years to come and builds on the legacy that his family has done for the club. See, even as a Chelsea fan, I respect Arsenal for what they're trying to do. They had a manager in Arteta. Now, I really liked Unai Emery. Really liked him. And when he went to Arsenal, I took much more interest in Arsenal. I've always sort of liked Arsenal because they've always had really good players. Wenger's done an amazing job. Again, the infrastructure that he brought over the years, you have to respect him. And I really respected him, and I really liked the players they had at Arsenal. I really liked Unai Emery, and I was gutted when they sacked him, and he's done a great job at Villarreal. But they brought in Arteta, a club great, because he's played for the club, he's young, he's been mentored by Pep Guardiola, he has Premier League experience in terms of being an assistant manager. And it made sense why they brought him in. Now, Arteta's got his own way of thinking, his own way of working. And he is trying to build his squad and a squad for the future. And he has made some great signings this year. Even if City, City to let, key players like Zinchenko, like Asus go, just shows how much quality they have. But it also shows that they can get better players. Like, I've liked the Asus for years, but I think Arsenal City letting him go and not utilising him. I think they haven't utilised him enough over the years, but I think letting him go has been the best decision for both of them as collective parties. And I think going to Arsenal is a great fit for him and what Arteta wants, and having a respectful striker the way Asus is and the way he's been described as a person compared to the likes of Aubameyang, right? I think they are great signings for Arsenal. And you can see that what Arteta is trying to do, and he's building for the future. He hasn't had the success that he should be having compared to the investment and compared to what clubs like City and Liverpool have been doing. But I don't think Arsenal will compete with Liverpool and Chelsea. Whilst Guardiola and Pep are there, and obviously with what the Crankies are doing at Arsenal, they're not investing the amount of money that City are investing. And I don't think, unless Chelsea's new owners invest big time, I don't see them doing much either. I don't see us, having the greatest runs either. But yeah, you can see that Arsenal, it is great that they haven't sacked Arteta because they're building for a future. They believe in him. And they're giving him support, which is great. And he needs to deliver now. He's been given that time, which adds on even more pressure. But it'll be really interesting to see how Arsenal do this year because of their investments and support for Arteta. I've just started watching the Arsenal All or Nothing, and that looks quite interesting so far. I'm only 2 episodes in. But it's great to see, a club from the inside and what decisions they're making and what they're trying to do and really understand the club, which not enough football fans do. Football fans are so quick to call on, the manager getting sacked and all this and that, the other. Football fans are so fickle, and half the time it's because they don't think logically because they're so emotionally drawn in, but realistically they're so emotionally withdrawn because they're not full of the facts that they should have, and they don't think logically. Whereas I'm a football fan and I will think logically about every club and every decision that is made, and that's why I respect clubs like Arsenal, even though they are rivals to Chelsea, because of the work that they're trying to do and what they're trying to build. Leicester have come back here. We're 4-0 up in the first half, and Leicester have dominated this second half, which is frustrating. But I'm very happy that we're 4-0 up. Very happy that we're getting the 3 points. The Aston Villa manager, who I'm not sure who that is, but we will take a look in a moment, will be very, very happy of this breathing space. Okay, there we are, 4-0 up. I'm very pleased with that result. See, again, the inconsistency from the strikers. Goals coming from midfield, I believe. 3 games left. I would like to finish on 100 points. We're away to West Ham next. Makuku did score 2, sorry. But again, this is my point. Adeyemi, inconsistent. I mean, I'm willing to do business. See, his value's dropped. Does that make sense? I'm willing to do business. He's retiring. See, now, I wanted to offer him another year's deal, right? I wanted him to stay and get up to 400 league games for City and try and get near the 700 league game mark, right? And he's won the Premier League with us, and he's had fantastic form. Now, it is an amazing way to retire, but he is wanted by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other clubs. and he's deciding he's retiring. Now, if I was 39 and I was like, right, okay, I don't want to play Premier League no more, I'm going to finish on a high with City, but I'm going to go sign a 1 year deal with one of these clubs, go back home to Germany, still get paid like, 50k a week, and try and get towards 700 league games, I would do it at, at the age of 39. Okay, let's have a quick look at the Villa manager. Grezlak. Not a great manager, to be fair. Disappointed. Well, finish the season out, don't get relegated, and then Villa can sack him. He hasn't been in charge long, obviously coming midway season, but he can be blamed for their abysmal form and dropping. I would get rid of him. I would just see things out towards the end of the season, and I'd sack him. Thomas Frank was sacked beforehand. I think obviously they weren't doing well with Thomas Frank, but the new manager that they brought in, Grezlak, has done even worse. It's hard to come in and take over and try and turn things around from an underperforming squad, but good, please, 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 please reconsider. I've never in a position where he is in, with the amount of games that he has played and the fact that he is a City legend and can earn again up to 100 grand, which we'd be willing to pay for him per week to stay and maintain that fitness and remain a City legend and try and add on more accolades as a player for one more year and finish on a high, and definitely be City's greatest ever player, maybe. I don't see why he wouldn't reconsider, but I've asked players several times before. There are players like goalkeepers who I've not played, and I would like just to keep them just because of the homegrown status and they're cheap, and they've always said no, which makes no sense because I can understand if you want to go coaching most of the time, but I'd be willing to offer you a player/coach role for the next 5 years just to register you and to keep low wages, and that way you can coach and I'm happy to keep you on my books. They always say no, and that doesn't make much sense to me. But I am going to leave that episode there. Thank you for watching as always, and thank you for being part of this save and following through this great journey which I'm having. Frustrating at times and inconsistencies, but there's throwing away the FA Cup, throwing away the Europa League for me. We could have had 3 great cups in the year, or 2 great cups, qualify for 2 more, a league win, European UEFA Champions League football. Sorry, that's what I was looking for next year. There was a greater job to have been done in my first season at City, but I'm very pleased with the season that we've had. I come in, I've won them the league. They're happy with my appointment because they wanted the league, and especially on the back of their performance last year. But yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it. Or shall I push for this West Ham game? Shall I push, or shall I leave it? We're literally in touching distance of this West Ham game. And then we're away. We're hosting United. Shall we see out the season? Shall we not? I'm now in 2 minds, but I was happy to leave it there. Decision time for Wales manager. Flicked past that then, but I'm going to take a quick look now because I want to see what they said on Kapanda. Has been a doubt at one stage, but shaking off his recent injuries. 20, he's got 8 caps. He's playing in Championship with Salford. He's had a very decent season in contrast to the amount of games that he's played. He's still young. Where are Salford? Relegated. So we will be playing League One unless he gets a move. But I want to get young players through the door. Giles is not my decision. Oh, he's 19. He's got prospect. He's worth up to 42 million. His form has not been too bad, especially if you look at what he was doing with, in contrast to Kapanda there. So I think I will just call him up and then I can look at him in further detail. Okay, I will manage this game. And then I think that will be the last one. Which I hope this finishes on a high for this episode, because if we end up losing, I will lose my head. I will lose my head. Let's just look at how Costa's performed for the season. He's coming up to 500 league games, which he can be very happy with. He'll definitely be guaranteed to be our number one next year. Premier League winner, coming up to 100 caps for Portugal. We can be very happy with the career that he has had so far. Unless he performs better next year, because Lafont done a lot better than him when he was my keeper. He might find himself having another move on the cards, Costa, which he can be happy with, because he'll still be getting paid good money. He might be able to win a league in another country and play for another big club. Try and get to 100 caps. He would have had a very good career. Played Premier League, won a Premier League title. But I think I've got a young goalkeeper coming in who's doing very well. If his form doesn't improve, then I would sell him. Obviously, there are goalkeeping decisions to be made in at least another year. I'd be happy to keep Costa for another year as my number one and loan out the goalkeeper that I have coming in back out, just to keep playing and gain experience before he comes our permanent number one, who could be our long-term number one for 10 years or more. But I want to keep him playing, because there's nothing worse than having a great goalkeeper just sat on your bench. It's great as a manager and it's a great part of your squad, but there's nothing worse than seeing goalkeepers who could be first team keepers sit on the bench. And this is why I loaned out my second choice keeper at Newcastle, because I didn't want to waste his life away or his playing career whilst he had the opportunity of playing down in the lower leagues, when he had the opportunity to play up to 50 games in a season, rather than maybe getting none and just playing reserves football and being on the bench for all of it. So here we are. Don't concede. Oh, I hate. See what? Look at that frustration there. Look, they've had one shot, one on target, and they finish, right? We've had 6 shots, 3 on target, with these players that we have, and it is 1-0 West Ham. Finish. See, I would take a draw, but we've been the dominant side. We've got the better players. We've got in positions to score. We should be scoring a lot more than we have. We should be winning this. Oh, how has he saved that? This is why it's frustrating, because games like this are very winnable, and we should be winning with the quality we have in our team. I should be able to sit back, simulate 10 games, and be 10 games unbeaten comfortably. And games like this, where we are dominating West Ham, we're getting chances, and we have superb players on the pitch, we bring quality players off the bench, we should win the game. Look at this dead load that we've ended up having. See, Vinicius Jr. was banging in goals when he first came in for fun. Suddenly, he doesn't make the squad a few times, and then every time you bring him on, nothing happens. Oh my gosh! See, like there, he's got that quality and that experience. He should be scoring that as soon as he comes on, making a big impact, showing what a player he still is. Oh, I think Vinicius Jr. has a lot of quality, but for what he's offering towards the back end of this season with the amount of money that we're paying him, I think a move abroad for him would be a great way for him to finish his career. We have been truly robbed in Football Manager here. 11 shots, 7 on target. The only shot and one they've had on target, they obviously finished. And even though we've got all these players on the pitch, and we have a tactic where we're dominating and finding so much space and getting so much shots and so many on target, that no matter who is on the pitch, they're not scoring that. There is nothing more we can do if they're not scoring. Oh, if we concede here, I will lose my head. Oh my days, he should be finishing there. This is so inconsistent. See what I mean? You throw away points. This is a win every day of the week, right? A win every day of the week. Wow, we have absolutely been robbed. One shot in 90 minutes and they scored, and we had 9 shots or whatever it was on target, right? On target, and we could not even finish. Now that definitely seals the end of that episode on a huge disappointing note for me. I'm very, very disappointed. We've got 2 games left. I would like to finish on 98 points. We're 17 points clear of Spurs with a game in hand. You know, points don't really matter at the stage of this season, but I would like to finish on a high and win both these games and beat United at home. I'm not very happy. You know, look at that, 11 games there where we have dropped points, you know, with draws and losses or been knocked out of a cup. You know, for me, that is not good enough. If you're building a season like that every year, you know, every 108 games, you're going to have 10 losses and 12 draws. So, you know, what's that? You know, double that, 16. So 22 in every 108. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. And there needs to be more work done, and we need to improve. And no matter how much money we have, and no matter what players we want and how much we bid on them, it doesn't look to be happening. Highly, highly frustrating game. This is where it becomes so unenjoyable. But yeah, thank you for watching this episode. This is Red Tonto 13. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Thank you for following my journey. I hope that the next episode is more enjoyable, but we will see. Thank you very much for your time as always. Sponsored by the Reflective Coach podcast, which can be found on YouTube, Spotify, LinkedIn, Twitter, Podcast Addict, and Anchor. So give that a check out, the Reflective Coach podcast. But again, this is Red Tonto 13. Drop me a subscribe on YouTube. Drop me a follow on Twitter. I'd be very grateful. Hope to see you soon. Enjoy the next episode. Take care, Red Tonto 13.